Welcome back to another Mean Streets of Gadgetzan card review. Blizzard just released the rest of the set today. So I'm gonna go through about half of them, and then I'll make another video going through the last half, just because there's like, I don't know, almost 40 cards they released. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, first up we have the last Druid card, called Celestial Dreamer. It's a 3-mana 3/3 minion that has a battle cry of, if a friendly minion has 5 or more attack, gain +2/+2. I don't know, it's an interesting card. I mean, you're probably not playing it on turn 3, because you're probably not gonna have a 5 minion, or a minion with 5 or more attack on the board on turn 3. So the fact that it can be a 3-mana 5/5 isn't all that relevant, I don't think. Now, that being said, it's not irrelevant, but I'm not sure where this card fits in. Just at a first glance, I'm gonna say this is not that great of a card. I mean, it's only a 3/3 for 3 mana otherwise if you don't play it, if you play it more on curve, which, you know, isn't terrible, but I'm just not sure what this card's trying to do exactly, other than try to be a little more value for the mana, but in a class that likes to ramp usually anyway, I don't know, I just don't see where this card fits in. Alright, so now we're going to move on to the Hunter cards. First up we have a 1-mana spell called Smuggler's Crate. It says, give a random beast in your hand +2/+2. I don't think this card is very good at all. It's completely contingent on you having a beast in your hand. It gives it the buff to a random beast at that, and it takes up a spot in your deck. I don't know why you'd put this in your deck, to be honest. I think it's a complete garbage card. Alright, moving on. We have a new Hunter secret, 2 mana obviously, called Hidden Cache, or Cache, however the hell you want to say it. It says, after your opponent plays a minion, give a random minion in your hand +2/+2. Talk about anti-tempo. Alright, first of all, secrets are anti-tempo anyway, because they're not affecting the board the turn you play them. Now usually you tend to gain some kind of tempo or gain some kind of advantage from playing a secret after the secret's activated. In this case, it's just more anti-tempo because you're not affecting the board still at all. You're giving a random minion in your hand +2/+2. Now I know, you know, with all the grimy goons buff stuff, like, this kind of fits in with that, but I just think this, I really think this secret is complete garbage. In a sort of mid-rangey kind of grimy goons deck, I just don't see this being played at all. It's way too slow. Not only that, like, I don't think you're gonna be playing any kind of secret deck. This card, I don't know, it's just a bad card in my opinion. I think it's way too slow. And the fact that it's a random minion doesn't help it. At least it's not conditional on it being a beast, but it's still conditional on you having a minion in your hand when your opponent plays a minion. So, and granted, you know, Hearthstone is about on the board playing minions. Most decks play minions, but, you know, some decks don't play minions as often. So this is not a good card in my opinion. Next we have a 1-mana 1/1 called Alley Cat. It is a beast, and it has a battle cry of summon a 1/1 cat. Seems pretty good to me. It seems like a decent 1/1, right? I mean, it's basically a Living Roots with 2 beast. So on turn 2, if you have any kind of beast sort of synergies, you can do stuff with that, or even just getting beast on the board cheaply. Maybe on turn 5 you don't have anything except this and Houndmaster. You play this and you Houndmaster it. Seems like pretty decent combo. I mean, not a super strong card, but I think it's a solid card. In Arena, this will be great tempo for Hunters for sure. Yeah, I like the card. All right, let's move on to Mage. First up, we have another potion called Freezing Potion for 0 mana, and as the name implies, freeze an enemy. That's its effect. I don't think you're probably ever going to be putting this card in your deck, but considering you can get this card from other things like Discover Mechanics, Ethereal Peddler, or just a random stuff like with the Babbling Book or Kabbalist Tome. It could be good that way, you know. I just do not see this doing anything for you in a deck unless you're specifically making some kind of a freeze deck, which maybe not. I don't mean a freeze mage like classic freeze mage, but like sort of tempo oriented freeze. I don't know, weird thing that hasn't been done yet exactly. But for the most part, I just don't see this being played in a deck. This is just a card that more than likely you're just going to see pop up the sources that I talked about, like discovering it or getting it randomly from some random effect. In Arena, you don't want to pick this card either, honestly. I don't mind the card, you're not going to be playing this in your deck. Alright, next card is Greater Arcane Missiles. You know, super duper original name. Anyway, so instead of having a 1 mana spell that casts 3 1-damage missiles, we have a 7 mana spell that casts 3 3-damage missiles. I don't know, I mean, it's kind of a cool idea. Really expensive though. I'm not exactly sure why you'd play this over something like Flame Strike. It's just really expensive, really slow to get out. It's going to be a dead card in your hand quite a bit of the time. Maybe if you can discount it in some ways. This will probably be like the other thing, and you probably won't see this being played in decks. It'll probably just be got from random effects, playing Kabbalist Tome, Babbling Book, things like that. So, interesting though, but I don't really think it's that strong of a card. Now, you know, combine it with spell damage, and yeah, you can, you know, do some cool things like that, but at the same time, it's too slow. And there's other cards that do what this can do better, I think. Alright, next card. It's called Cryomancer. It's a 5 mana 5/5. It's okay stats. And a battle cry. Gain +2/+2 if an enemy is frozen. So, you know, this is kind of trying to be like a whole freeze archetype thing, but not classic freeze mage, right? So I don't know, maybe, I mean, a 7 for 5 mana? Maybe some kind of mid-rangey, weird freeze mage deck thing, I don't know. It seems kind of odd with these weird minions that are kind of beefy and just are trying to, like, why are they buffing? I don't know, it's very strange to me for the mage class in general, but I mean, not a terrible card, I guess. In Arena, you're probably not going to get the effect off very much, but it's still a 5 mana 5/5, which isn't terrible. So, I mean, you'll probably play it, and you'll probably get the combo off sometimes in Arena, so it's not too bad. Alright, moving on to Priest. We have a 4 mana spell called Greater Healing Potion. I don't know, I don't think the Hearthstone team, like, sometimes it has that much originality when it comes to naming things, but whatever. Anyway, this spell says restore 12 health to a friendly character. So anything that you own, so you can't combo this with Akanai or whatever that other spell is that I can't think of right now that turns your life-giving powers into damage-dealing powers until end of turn. From the Old God set, but you can heal your face, and you can heal one of your minions if you want. I mean, this is an auto include in the Reno deck, right? So Reno Priest is 100% going to be a thing, and it's going to be very strong. Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of it, and it's going to be a very, very good, viable deck. My opinion, but that's what I believe. In Arena, it's not that good of a card. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad card, but just because of the way Arena works, this is more of kind of like a dead-ish card, because it doesn't do anything to the board. I mean, it heals you, yeah, that's fine and all, but what you want in Arena is tempo, because Arena is very much on the board-based kind of game. So, definitely not as good, but in Constructed, this is a solid card. Alright, next card, we have another Priest card, a 5 mana 5/5. Seeing a lot of those. Cabal Song Stealer has a battle cry of silence a minion. So brings the silence effect back into a very playable minion. 5 mana, 5/5, decent stats. And it's a priest card. So I think this will fit very well into the Reno Priest deck as a one of. Another aside about this card is that the card art reminds me very much of the Skeksis from Dark Crystal. Yep, good card. In Arena, it's not bad. It's not bad. 5 mana, 5/5, and silence a minion. Like, I mean, that's pretty good. In Arena, you definitely pick Spellbreaker. That's a solid card in Arena. So yeah, 5 mana, 5/5 with the same effect. I think Priest is actually going to be a viable class again in, well, maybe for the first time ever, really, in Arena. So cool. All right, moving on. Those are all the Priest cards. Now we're to Rogue. We have a 3 mana, 5/1 Shadow Ranger. I really hate the Ranger cards. I think they're all terrible for the most part. However, Rogue gets its very own terrible shit card. But this one, instead of just being a plain vanilla 5/1, it has stealth. So, you know, they're trying to do that whole stealth thing, and this kind of would work as a precursor to, I can't remember the name of it offhand, but the other card that was announced, that's the 4 mana 4/4 that buffs a stealth minion +2/+2. So you can play this and then that card, and this would be a 7/3, which is definitely not terrible. But I just don't know that the stealth thing is gonna be that viable for Rogue. It doesn't seem like an archetype that Rogue is really wanting to do, but I don't know. I guess we'll see, huh? I'm sure it'll be experimented with. I don't have high hopes for it though, but so another Rager card, whatever, blah. All right. Next card, we have a 6 mana 5/5 Lucky Do Buccaneer. This is a pirate card, and it has a battle cry of, if your weapon has at least 3 attack, gain +4/+4. I don't know about this card. It's expensive, for one. 2, if the battle cry works, it's a 9/9, right? But it's fairly specific. And Rogue doesn't have that many cards to give it 3 attack. I mean, obviously it's got Deadly Poison, right? You have Assassin's Blade. You don't run Assassin's Blade. But, any more that, I don't know, maybe it'll happen, because there are some good pirate cards that have come out with this set, it seems like. So maybe Pirate Rogue will finally be a thing, and this will fit into it as a cool finisher kind of card, just a big beefy card. If you don't get the battle cry, it's a 6 mana 5/5, and that's not good. So I don't know. I'm not sure this card will see too much play, and I don't know how well the Rogue Pirate theme will do. Might do well, though. And if it does well, this might fit into it. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm sure it'll be experimented with. It's nothing super exciting as far as the card goes and design, so yeah. All right, on to Shaman. Moving along quickly here. We have a 1 mana spell called Finders Keepers. Just another aside here, I'm kind of really disappointed with a lot of the epic cards in this set, because a lot of them are really bad, including this one. And this one says, discover a card with Overload. Overload 1. So effectively, this is a 2 mana card that discovers you an Overload card. I don't know why you'd ever really want to do that, because most of the Overload cards suck. Most of the Overload cards are not good. You know, there are a few, obviously. Lightning Bolt's pretty decent. Lightning Storm can be good in a pinch. You know, Totem Golem's fairly decent most of the time. Feral Spirits can be good. Maybe it'll be okay. I don't know. It just doesn't seem good to me. I don't know. It seems like I'm not really sure why you're wanting to discover an Overload card specifically. You know what I mean? Because that can get you anything from spells to minions, you know, anything between. And there's, like I said, there's some really bad ones. So I'm not sure about why this card exists. I don't think it's a good card. All right, moving on. Up next, we have a new weapon for Shaman, because, you know, they needed more weapons. It's called Jade Claws. It's 2 mana, 2/2 weapon, has Overload 1, and Battle Cry, summon a Jade Golem. So this fits into the whole Jade Golem theme. Now that they've revealed all the cards, I'm really unsure about the Jade Golem thing. I was kind of excited about it first, and I was thinking it was going to be really powerful. But all the Jade Golem cards that they revealed previously that's it. At least for this set. Maybe they'll expand upon it in future sets, I don't know. But at least for this set, I mean, all the Jade Golem cards we've seen, that's it. So, I don't know. I don't think Shaman is going to be that strong with the Jade Golem thing. This could be a good card if they had the cards to back it up, the Jade Golem cards to back it up. I still think if any class is going to pull off the Jade Golem thing well, it's going to be Druid. So otherwise, I mean, obviously if you're not playing a Jade Golem deck, you're not playing this card. Spirit Claws is just much better. If you are playing a Jade Golem deck, you're probably going to play this card. Because, like I said, there's not that many Jade Golem cards for any of the classes specifically, so you want to get as many in the deck as you can. We have a 4 mana 3/5 called Lotus Illusionist, and this epic is a good epic. After this minion attacks a hero, transform it into a random 6-cost minion. It's pretty huge, I think. I mean, 3/5 stat line, not the best for a 4-drop, right? I mean, average 4-drop is 4/5, right? Like, that's solid stats for a 4-drop typically. But I mean, you play this, next turn you play a 5-drop attack with this and have a 6-drop on the board as well as a 5-drop. It's pretty huge. I think this is a good card for sure. Pretty cool. Interesting design too. Haven't really seen this before other than the, you know, I mean, obviously we've seen the transform into whatever, but this is a specific mana cost that it transforms into, and it can happen anytime. Like, it's not a battle cry, it's not a death rattle. All this takes is that you attack it into a hero. So you could actually, you play this on the board, you know, clear off a couple minions with it, or at least, you know, at least one minion with it, right? And if they don't get rid of it on their next turn after you trade into a minion with it, then you just attack their face and you got a brand new minion. So it's a pretty strong card for sure. I'm not exactly positive of what kind of deck this will fit in, but it seems like some kind of mid-range deck for sure. This is a really solid 4-drop, I think. All right, and now to the Shaman Legendary. It is a 5 mana 5/5 called White Eyes. It has Taunt and a death rattle of Shuffle the Storm Guardian into your deck. So just on the surface, 5 mana 5/5 with Taunt, it's not bad. Pretty decent, really. I mean, why not, right? So you have this on the board, and when it dies, you shuffle the Storm Guardian, which is a 5 mana 10/10 with Taunt into your deck. Seems pretty damn good to me. That is a solid legendary, which is kind of cool because even though I'm sick of Shaman, everybody's sick of Shaman right now, they've just been really overbearing and way too powerful. It's nice to see them actually get a legendary that's playable. Granted, Halaziel was really cool. I liked Halaziel a lot, but he's really specific for a control type of deck. This can definitely go in a mid-range deck, and it'll be great, you know? I think if you're playing a mid-range Shaman from, you know, once this set comes out on, you're definitely gonna be putting this in it, for sure. However, I don't know how often you're gonna be doing that right away anyway, because I just think most people are sick of Shaman, so you'll probably give it a break and then come back to it at some point. But really solid legendary, in my opinion. Next, we have Warlock cards, and so this is gonna be the last class I talk about for this video. And then I'll save the rest of the cards for the next video. First up, we have a 4 mana spell called Blast Crystal Potion. And it says, destroy a minion and one of your mana crystals. Destroying your own mana crystals is very counterproductive in this game. As it's one of your most important resources, you don't want to be getting rid of it and like giving your opponent an advantage in that way. Unless you're using this as late game removal, which, you know, maybe it could fit that way. In some kind of like control shaman or control warlock deck that, you know, you have 10 mana, you don't care about destroying a mana crystal because you just gain another one next turn, you still be at 10, whatever, and it's cheap. You can also play other stuff that same turn. I don't know, it's not super great, but maybe it'll see play. Depends on how many other cards, especially like an arena lock, how many other cards we can fit into that deck and make it, you know, the most solid deck we can. So if it sees play, it'll be in some kind of control warlock deck for sure. I don't think you'll want to play it too much in arena, as I mean, you're gonna see it, you're probably gonna pick it. It's not that good though in arena. All right, moving on. We have a 4-mana 5/4 called Crystal Weaver, and it says, well, has a battle cry of "Give your demons +1/+1." Now this card, well, this effect more specifically, I am surprised has not already existed in this game. I definitely think the demons could be another sort of class, just like, you know, pirates and murlocs, beasts, things like that, that, you know, really have a lot of synergy cards, and you can build like a demon deck, and that would be cool. But a lot of those cards seem hit and miss as to when they're released. And, you know, one of the most powerful demon buffing cards was Mal'Ganis, and obviously he's no longer in standard anymore, so rip that whole thing. But, you know, maybe you can come back with this card. I don't know that we have all the demons right now to make this viable, but, you know, maybe. Moving on, we have a demon. Unlicensed Apothecary, 3-mana 5/5, which is, you know, those stats are crazy. This whole set has had some really weird stat lines of cards. Like, on the surface, really bad or really good, but then the specific ability makes, you know, really offsets what you think of the stats on first glance. So we have a 3-mana 5/5. Whenever you summon a minion, deal 5 damage to your hero. I don't think you'll be playing this in a zoo deck, as those decks are very minion heavy, and if you play this on turn 3, you're going to be killing yourself by turn 6 probably. So what I do see this as a great card is in a control warlock deck for the early game, just to help, you know, control aggressive decks from dealing damage to your face. I think this is a great card for that. And I think it'll definitely be an arena lock deck for sure. It's a super solid 3-drop that would just soak up some minions, soak up, you know, damage that would otherwise be going to your face until you're able to get the cards you need. So it's really a stalling card for the early game for control warlock. So I really like it. All right, next we have a Cabal Trafficker, 6-mana 6/6, so, you know, decent stats. It says at the end of your turn, add a random demon to your hand. You know, this is another card that can help with that whole Crystal Weaver thing and having all this demon synergy, I guess. I don't know how good random demons in your hand are, to be honest. I don't know. It sort of remains to be seen. And realistically, if you play this on 6, I mean, just the nature of this game, how long is it really going to be on the board, you know? Is it worth it to just get one demon? So it's effectively a battle cry of get a demon in your hand when you play this, a random one at that. I mean, at least it replaces itself in your hand in certain terms of card value, right? I'm sure it'll be experimented with. Jury's out for me on this card still. It doesn't seem that good yet, but who knows. So next up we have the Warlock Legendary, 9-mana 7/9, Cruel the Unshackled. And it's a demon, and has a battle cry of, if your deck has no duplicates, summon all demons from your hand. So right now, I don't really see this card working out that well. And it's because we don't really have that many demons to be taking advantage of this. And obviously, This is definitely a Reno, like an Reno style deck, you know, no duplicates kind of thing. I don't know that this fits into a Reno deck. I think there's other cards that fit better into the Reno deck than this one would. However, with all that said, I do have hope for the future for this card, especially if this whole demon thing actually takes hold and they keep up with it a bit, that you know, maybe we'll have a Reno-esque styled control deck that's not, you know, doesn't have Reno in it anymore, but could be built around this card and demons. I don't know. It seems like an interesting effect. I do like the whole demon synergy stuff that they've got going on with these last few cards they've released with Warlock. But at least in the short term, I don't know how well they'll hold up. Which brings me to another point, that it's kind of unfortunate that the past couple of Warlock legendaries, or at least, well, actually, yeah, the past couple, because in TGT we got Wilford Fizzlebang, which was a real big fizzle of a card, and then we got Cho'Gall, which has potential, I think, and may actually see play in this new meta. Maybe we'll see, I'm not sure. And then we have this card, which again has potential, like Cho'Gall, not the same potential obviously, but yeah, so it's kind of a bummer that way, but we'll just have to see. Alright guys, well that's going to be it for me for this review. I will have one more review with the remaining cards and sort of some final thoughts. So yeah, I'll see you guys later.